UCC, everybody. Yeah. Today we got a very special guest in the house. We have Javi. Javier has been part of the journey in the cannabis culture for the last year and a half now.
2 years. 2 years and a couple months.
Damn, dude.
Let's
Time's
go.
Creeping. Time's a creeping. What's been your highlight of being in the cannabis culture so far? What's like one cool experience that you've had?
Well, my highlight would be that making a living doing this when like I remember being a teenager, hoping and wishing an opportunity like this would come, because I've been in love with cannabis, at a very young age.
Let's go.
And so just being in this industry and just helping it flourish has been an amazing thing.
Oh, dude. Hell yeah. That's awesome. Yeah. That's sick, dude. So when you first started getting into cannabis, you mentioned like teenage years, just barely. How old were you? What were some of the first like experiences that you had with the plant? Yeah, young Javi.
Yo, I was just talking to JJ about this today. But I was 13 going on 14.
Young cat.
Yeah, I was young.
Wow. Young cat. All right, yeah.
I was young. And so, dude, first experiences were just some fucking resin hits out of a pipe, just trying to try it because I was curious and I was at an age where, I was just getting a little rebellious, And so tried that and then finally got a hold of some that weekend. And, dude, had the best time at the Orem Summerfest.
Let's go.
First
time.
Summerfest. Facts, bro. Sponsor me, City of Orem. What's up? Town.
Yeah.
We repping that guy. But no, man, just being a young cat with, two people that are my fucking, family, and then a bunch of other random people that I barely met that night. Having a blast and seeing these fireworks go off, and it's psychedelic and it's amazing.
Damn.
First time is just beautiful, just laughing a ton.
Super giggly.
Yeah, nice. And then it's just like.
So you, on your first experience, we here at UCC, we've talked about some people don't experience cannabis the first couple of times ingesting it. And for you to say that you've had an almost psychedelic experience with cannabis, it's beautiful to hear.
Yeah,
that's awesome,
I never believed people when they were like, I didn't get high, or I'm not I smoked with a lot of people for their first time, and they're like, I'm not high, but their eyes are fucking red as shit, and it's just like, you're high as fuck, my dude, and then
wrong.
But a lot of people claim it, and it's just like. Honestly, it kind of makes sense sometimes because sometimes people don't know how to actually smoke. Yeah. They either just fill up their mouth and then puff it back out. Or they're hesitant. Lungs. They're hesitant. They're like, take a little ass rip or something like that. Sure. So, but
I think it's really interesting when you look at it because it's a common notion when you look at a lot of the higher echelons of the cannabis industry. Shout out to First Smoke of the Day and the casting that they've been able to get onto their show, but a lot of them have also expressed not being able to get high the first time that they consume cannabis. And I think that it may be biology, somewhat biology. There has to be some kind of play in it that's either they're not ingesting it properly or it's literally a biology thing that it's not interacting with them as it interacts with everybody else the first encounter.
I'd probably say it's more along that lines, especially with young people developing different ages, different growth spurts, different times. I think that's probably what plays the biggest role, like you're saying. So
yeah, it's interesting to look at though. Really, really interesting to look at.
Were you with a bunch of your friends? Did you smoke with them for the first time? Was it a mutual thing, or did they
Were they veterans?
Yeah, did they bring you out? Hey, this is what we do.
I was with my boy who me and him had never tried it ever, and so it was me and him. We were together so much when I was younger, and another homie is fucking funny. Another homie from who I knew back in 5th or 6th grade. That's who I hit the resin with. He was a close homie from elementary, and then he ended up moving to Pleasant Grove, so I barely saw him he came around one day and fucking had a pipe, and then he was just like, dude, I was like, oh, let me see it. I was all curious. I'm like smelling it and whatnot, and he ended up sleeping over, and we fucking resin hit that. That's when I feel like I didn't really get high. Like even though we were ripping that resin hard. So like I was like, I don't feel like it was anything like crazy.
And your first experience was like, oh, this.
Yeah, I was like, I only took like one hit because I was like, we were doing it inside my house. And I'm just like, my mom's upstairs, and we're just like, I'm like, it's not gonna smell. And they're like, nah, bro, nah. And I'm just
what the hell?
Fucking idiots. They're like idiots, bro. But like, it was him and another homie.
Oh shit.
But no, like we fucking just hit that, and that didn't really do anything. But no, I was with he was, I guess you could say, a veteran.
This was
he
at
had
your
done
house?
it before.
At his house?
At my house.
At your house.
Sleeping over at my house. Yeah. And so he had done it before, and so that's why he had a pipe.
Right. Felt so confident.
But the time that like I actually smoked like fucking buds, like I was with my boy and another homie that I knew, and then like out of nowhere came like 3 or 4 other people.
Dang.
Like 'cause it's like, oh, I'm coming through. Oh, I'm bringing whoever the fuck. Oh, whoever the fuck's bringing whoever. And I'm just like, and then they show up and just like, oh shit. It's like, damn, bro, we got skimped out. We fucking we paid this dude fucking $40, and he gave us like a fucking dime bag.
Oh,
and I was just like, but at the time I was like, holy shit. I mean, like, this is a lot of weed. But then there's like 6 people. There's 6 people chilling with us. I'm like, what? And just like, I only had a little bit left. But it was nice because I took that home and I ended up smoking in my house out of a potato. The next night.
Not even the apple? Like,
we didn't have any.
Instead of fucking potato?
We didn't have any.
I remember the potato.
Hey, what a dog,
dude. It was.
You don't identify with that, bro?
Hey, I get down with potatoes.
Yeah.
Idaho
Good old
represent,
potatoes.
dude.
He's just sick of them. He's like, yo, I've done that too much, bro.
Yeah, he's like, really? That's basic
potato
as fuck.
That's your norm for him.
Yeah. By the way, Gabe is from Idaho. If you don't know, that's why we call him, Big Spud.
They've
Fry
never
guy.
called me that once in their life.
I've never heard that before.
They've never called me that once.
I deny all claims.
Never heard that. Why is it so fitting?
Big Spud.
Would you say being at home, because usually a lot of people feel that they get like super anxious, right? Like the first times or the couple times after that, they still are like, who the hell's gonna know I'm high, or is my mom, or like, did you have any of those worries, like that your mom's gonna find out, your pops, or coming into the house, or like them finding the bag in your room, or like you know what I mean?
Definitely, and that's why like I'm living at my mom's right now, and being in that in the downstairs where I did it, I'm like, dog, how the fuck, like why the fuck did I do that? Like knowing it was my mom and dad upstairs, and I'm just there like blowing that shit out, and I'm just like, dude, and I'm just like, it's just crazy. But like after that, like so anxious every time I would do it. I was just like, oh shit, my mom knows. Yeah. And my sister was very, very religious at the time too, and then I would be around my sister, and she'd be, you're acting funny, and I'm just like, oh shit, she knows. I'm like, all right, peace. Go in my room,
Right, exactly. I know that feeling.
Oh, hell no.
Okay,
are you high? How high are you? You're like, what? Oh, yeah, you're acting funny.
Yeah, I was like, what are you talking about?
Okay.
I just cleared the whole fridge. What do you mean?
It's my 5th bagel. What are you talking about?
I'm
No,
fine.
that is crazy. What's funny about that?
What would you say, would you fast forward a couple of years or maybe months was the pinnacle of like finding out like, oh wow, like what I was smoking before was not weed?
Oh, I mean, like,
when was it like when you reached a little bit in high school when you're like you were buying like, yo, this is some cereal milk, I know, you know what I mean? You know a little bit more of like what a good smoke is like.
What was the first strains you encountered? Let's start there.
Yeah, what are those strains, you know?
So, first strains I encountered.
Because would you got it off the streets first, or did you start experimenting, like going out of state? Like some people started, because this is now where we fast forwarded where there's like dispensaries in California, right? You know, in Nevada.
I think at the moment, it had barely become recreational in those states.
So you were getting in the streets.
So, oh yeah, for sure. And like maybe they had gotten medical over there, because it's obviously very easy to get a medical card throughout those, like years.
Hey, we didn't clarify on where you were from originally, too.
I was born in California, Silmar to be exact.
Nice,
California. Moved over, yeah. Shout out, Silmar. I mean, haven't lived there for 15 years, but no, I still remember it. Love it. Can't wait to go back. But yeah, I moved over here to Utah, and here we are.
Yep.
But yeah, so we were like, I was definitely getting it from the streets, and at first I was like, it was kind of just like you're a 14-year-old looking for weed, like you're trying to find it wherever,
Snapchat?
whoever. No, dude, like, well, like
because it's different, because some of the oldest,
is,
right? It's all like, all through like reverse, and then you had people like, hitting up the plug, add me on Snap, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So
there was no Snap.
No,
right?
I don't think there was, and plus, like, I didn't have a iPod Touch or anything like. I still had like a button phone, but at the same time, I would get in trouble a lot, so my parents would take it. So it was like, I didn't really have a means of communication. So it was kind of just like when I was with friends, I was like, oh, do you have weed? And we would fucking look for weed and. In the dumbest spots, who the fuck knows where. But
what was the dumbest spot you guys looked?
What?
The dumbest spot?
The dumbest spot.
In the bathroom.
Yeah, my couch.
No, these fools are probably at Liberty Park.
No, it's in Orem. We were in Orem, dog.
Damn,
so it was even
crazy.
It was different. It's different. Like. Yeah, but honestly,
like one person that plus supplies like all of Orem. And
dude, seriously.
Guys, like,
probably for a minute. I don't doubt it. But like the first time I really remember like getting more into strains was as I was getting older, and like I went on to like 15, sophomore year, kind of ninth grade and 10th grade, like that's when I was kind of like getting more access to it, and I think in sophomore year that's when I was like started looking up strains. I found Leafly, and I started just looking at stuff. Nice. I was like looking at bombs. Yeah, shout out Leafly. Yeah. Been in the game for the longest running shit. Helping people identify and like review this fucking medicine that we can't fucking test and realize there's a
difference. There is strains. There's a difference in strains.
Exactly.
It was crazy to see that. Be like, what?
It plays an important part in the culture for sure. But yeah, I remember going on there, and dude, it was my junior year, I believe, when I really was, getting a bunch of strains coming through. I remember some memorable ones. Strawberry Cough.
Of course.
One of my first.
Dude, I had mine too. I had a really good plug that had a grow in Humboldt.
Hey, dude, I got Cali Strawberry Cough too.
Dude, it was that. I remember that actually tasting so much like a fucking fresa.
Yeah,
like,
too.
Dude, and that shit gave me that headband ass effect. Like, and I was just fucking gone. Like, I was in the mirror, like, whoa, dude, like, holy shit. And yo, facts, but Strawberry Cough, Green Crack, Blue Dream,
of course,
fucking. I remember back then, a lot of people, like, kind of like in the beginning, a lot of people were like, oh, this hydro. This is that hydro. That's what they would call it. It's just the it's just the hydroponic. It's just the hydro growth.
Yeah.
And then like, but people would say that, it's like Wiz was saying that shit in his songs and all this other shit. But when people would say that, I'd be like, oh, it's good, But that's just what I would think it was. But yeah, like dude, Strawberry Cough, Green Crack, Blue Dream, Trainwreck, Chem Dog.
Really? You got some chem?
They say, hey, this is the street, like they say.
But do you identify as chem now?
I don't think I've had a full on chem right now. I've had crosses and shit, but it was definitely like, if I remember, it was like decently, but I don't know.
Not quite the crown of the creme.
I'm pretty sure not. Like no, like
I hear it.
No, definitely not. I came across a lot of stuff though, but I honestly I forget the names of like the ones that I really liked.
And all this stuff that you were probably like pursuing and stuff too, is it all mostly flower? Are you kind of getting maybe into like concentrates, seeing that stuff if you're like seeing Leafly and everything?
Yeah, so I started getting more into concentrates like when I was a senior, because that's when it was like shatter was the fucking shit. You wanted some shatter. You wanted some shatter, that gold shatter, and that started popping off, and I'm like, what the fuck is shatter? Yeah. Look up dads.
How do you use it?
Yeah, how do you do this? Exactly. And then it's just like, oh, you come up with butter, and then you come up with crumble, and all these other extract, forms.
And it's funny to see because, like, I feel like a lot of the concentrate evolution happened to people creating so much shatter that it ended up sitting for somewhere long enough in a warm place that it turned into a sugar that turned into a crumble. Like, I don't know if you guys have ever experienced, like, large quantities of shatter or, like, had, like, pounds of shatter just kicking it. But when you do, when you start, like, messing with the shatter and, like, start working it, it starts becoming more and more malleable. It's no longer, like, a shatter.
Yeah,
you
can get the warm.
Yeah,
the
so
warmth.
Exactly. Like what we would do, dude, we would throw it in the back of our car in the summertime and we would let it cook in there like all day for like 2 or 3 days. Come back, dude. We would have the best crumble and like the best sugar wax and like it would be fire, dude. And people would pay another $10-15 for a gram of that, comparatively speaking.
Yep.
You know what I mean? And it's just decarboxylating it even more. You know what I mean? So like it's just giving it a little bit more time to off-gas some of those other byproducts when you do a shatter extraction that make it so stable.
Butane, hash oil.
Yeah.
Honestly, extending the cure.
Yeah. So that was just like one little like hood trick that we would do to bump up our shatter, dog.
Bro, that's pretty sweet.
That's sweet. No, man. The experience I had with shatter is I got an ounce of shatter. I was ready to fucking make some money. You already know. And my mom ended up finding it, and I had dropped $5 on it, and I was ready to make a K, and I was like, I'm gonna fucking get boy, and she found it, and I was pissed as fuck.
Get over here!
No, she was just so mad that she didn't talk to me.
It all. I'm just kidding.
No, right? She fucking sold it herself.
She made her $1,000.
You know, right? She got full off profit, 100% profit. No, I was pissed. I remember, and after that, that's when I was kind of done buying in bulk. I was just like, nah, I don't want to deal with this. Living with my mom.
I hear it.
It was like, but
I was kind of a wild card in high school. I kind of like lived on my own, did my own thing. You know what I mean? And then like pretty early on in life, I had my own spot, and that's how I was able to kind of do that. You know what I mean? But it's
beautiful because we're seeing it now. We see large amounts of concentrates of flour, shit that you dream about when you're a young stony. Stony.
Very true.
It's fucking beautiful.
Walk into a room and there's just packs on the table.
Yeah, right.
Oh shit, that's cool.
and it's so funny too because we have to remind so much of our listeners and people out there, like we're talking about Orem, we're talking about Utah here, right? A time where it's inaccessible, right?
It's a small town.
It's so small. You're talking about
very religious
not
town.
Even like you can't even you get caught with it. You get a whiff of it. Your neighbor smells it. It's like so.
Game over.
Yeah, it's game over. You know what I mean?
Cops coming, dude.
Yeah,
cops
so reflecting back
Someone
on it
call
now,
them.
as you guys
Someone
are listening,
call them for real.
It's crazy. You know what I mean?
It really is like that.
Because when you talk about it now, right? You talk about the accessibility to certain flowers and concentrates, but to a lot of our listeners, we're talking about circa 20.
Whoa, we're talking like, I mean, so 20.
There you go.
20. So 2010 to like 2015ish.
Not even the mind of the community of our government, anybody. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Still in the streets. So now it's just because I didn't even know what it was like until after it was medically legal, right?
Yeah.
A little bit, in 2019.
You do come from the other side of that spectrum.
Yeah, I was like right on
Very
the cusp
recent.
of it, like very like 2019, 2020, and then it became medical. But I don't know what's on that other side where it's like, yo, man, we have to hide. We gotta like hit it underneath the football stadium seats or something. You know what I mean?
Bleachers.
Some shit, right?
Yeah,
exactly.
it.
I didn't know what that was.
Underneath your clothes.
Exactly.
And shit.
Trying
And
to
the
spray or
fucking
hide from your
vacuum.
family or changing your clothes or some shit like
Just
that.
acting as normal.
Yeah.
Getting high as fuck to act as normal as you can.
Exactly. Leaving the family event to go with the other cousin. They're like, damn, you guys always got it. It's like, well, yeah, it's the only cousin that I know.
Right?
You say, yo, let me hit this and I'll come into character real quick.
Yeah,
Bro, I'll be real proper.
that was the norm for me, man, for a long time.
So that's why it's crazy because like a lot of our listeners are like, if they're listening from like California or Oregon or Nevada or wherever you're from, we're talking about small city here. The inaccessibility to it. And those that also find relief in it, such as Javi at a young age, growing up. there's now that accessibility to it, but it's crazy that we go back and rewind how hard it is to get to it. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? At that time,
it definitely is. And I mean, you are a minor. You know, like, it's like you know, like not a lot of people are trying to sell the minors like that. You know, it's very hard for sure.
You're scraping the bottom of the barrel, dog.
What type of like were you chasing like when you're like, man, weed is my thing? What were you looking after?
What was I looking after? Oh, dude, I was looking for smell because I've always loved the smell.
Yeah,
the smell. Like even like I could just have shit chilling and it would be my incense.
Right.
You know, because I just love the smell of, especially like really good grown strains and stuff. So I've always loved the smell, and and then I started coming across some really good strains. There's like that purple, dude. That purple. Like once I started really seeing that purple come out, I was like, damn, this is fucking nice. And like you smoke it and you're like, this is fucking dank.
So when you got that strain, you were like, damn, that's what I want to keep trying to go for. That purple,
shit like that, or like a really light green with them orange ass hairs. Nice. Those were like some of my favorite looking strains back then, which I had no idea what they were, but like but still, they're nice, they're crystally. And at that time, like being on Leafly, like I started learning about terpenes as well, and the trichomes and whatnot. I was pretty invested, dude. Like I would look it up all the time. I remember watching documentaries like on Discovery Channel of like some dispos that had opened up like very recent, in Cali. Damn, and just like how they worked and all what they did. And I'm just like, I think about it now. I'm like, damn, that's what I do, legit.
Come on,
and it's just like I said in the beginning, it's a blessing. It's a blessing to be able to work in this right now.
Were you carrying around pens with you all the time?
Pens?
Carts?
No.
510s?
Those didn't really come out until like
not yet?
Until I was like
because I didn't know, because I only heard about it when people stopped and then they picked it back up, back in the streets, because I was like, yeah, fuck all that shit.
That was probably a very small community. Those were like the way ahead of their time.
It was probably them because it was like I would say 2015 to like 2016 is when pens were like oh dude, like this shit has dab in it.
In 2014, the end of 2014,
it was like it wasn't like
my ex-girlfriend's sister had a ceramic 510 cart basically, and you just load your concentrate in there and then you hold it.
The RDAs.
Yeah, I remember those. The domes.
That was the first pen I had ever seen.
Yeah.
But
you were just putting raw concentrate on it. You know what I mean? You just
it's not an actual distillate cart.
I
started seeing like when you see the fucking Fruity Loops packaging,
like
Fruity
2016
OG. or whatever the fuck, these foobie ass
watermelon
fucking cards.
Shower pad.
And it's just like, yo, like someone would, because back then, I don't know if you remember back then, but people were like, be careful because people were filling them shits with dumb shit, water,
vitamin
cards, those
Pac-Man weird cards,
Mario cards, shit like that. And so like sometimes I was like, I'm only smoking it if I know where I got it from. But if someone's like, oh, here, hit this pen, I'm like, no. But nowadays it's like, you want to hit a fucking pen, like hit the pen, you
already know because it's a different time.
Yeah,
it is a different time,
and you didn't know what was in there.
Look at who you're surrounded with too. You know what I mean? That
exactly.
Of course they're gonna hit our pens. We're smoking on fire.
Exactly. That's why it's nice that we're able to have this medical program in this state, because it does give people the chance and the opportunity to get their medicine when they need it. Not having to rely on people that obviously have their own life, but plugs lag sometimes. It's how it is. And also just having the sound mind, or the sound peace of mind that they're getting something that's like been taken care of. Like there's been certain protocols that go through it and made sure that it's clean and it's good, and like that they're growing the best stuff possible
safely
in theory.
Yeah, and let's talk about that for a minute, right? So Utah has some of the more, I would say, unrefined laws when it comes to the maintenance and the storage of cannabis. Unfortunately, there are some bills that need to be passed about, like, of course, fungal testing. We don't do any type of fungal testing in the state of Utah. It's not required. But it is something that should be done, especially where we provide medication for patients. At the end of the day, if you have an immunal disorder, like any kind of lung, of course you're not going to be consuming cannabis through smoke if you have an element that relates to like lung issues, but we should still be able to know that our patients can consume our product knowing that there's no form of like PM, hydrophic or sporic state molds, you know?
Yeah. And I think that you make a really good point there, because we're the ones that, in a sense, know what to look for. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, it is up to, like, the medical state to have that and give to the patient, because a lot of the patients don't even know.
Yeah.
Let alone tell you, right?
Yeah, dude,
that's why you have to hold it to that standard, and so that everything is supplied to the patient at the best quality possible.
Yeah.
And to touch on that is like consumer patients being front facing every day to the consumer. What are the challenges that you faced having to face the everyday consumer, right? The everyday challenge of
the Utah patient,
and also being a patient yourself, right? And understanding it. What was that like?
So just like a little backstory here, I started in this industry at a dispensary, which is called the pharmacy here in Utah. I'm sure other places are there. Anyways, I started there and worked there for a year and like 10 months. And then I transferred over to processing facilities, which is where I met most of these homies. But honestly, it was not what I expected. Like I was not expecting.
Keeping it real.
Keeping
it real, y'all.
I'm keeping it real here.
I'm do it over here. Keeping it real.
I'm keeping it real. It was not what I was expecting, but it was still a really impactful and learning experience, to be honest. And especially being through like a pretty tough time in my life, it was just nice. One of the things that I love the most is I loved connecting with patients. Patients that like came in there. And it was just fate, or they like they were feeling like there was a needed connection that day from a stranger or whatever. But it was just like connecting with patients, especially people that were going through shit. Damn, same as me.
100. Yeah.
Cancer patients, dude. Fucking all these other patients that are dealing with things.
Probably seeing someone for like a month and then not seeing them for a couple of months. Like, yo, I haven't seen you in a minute. Like, welcome back. Like all types of walk-ups. Like kids probably that you've seen, pets that have walked in.
Yeah. Oh, pets. Yo, pets. Yeah, for sure.
That's a funny ass one for sure.
Yeah, but it was beautiful. And one thing that I really loved as well is helping the Hispanic community there, because I was basically the only Spanish speaker for
adding that diversity,
a good amount of that time.
For sure.
And so like I was
diversity, man.
It was very interesting because like my second day there, they were like they had a lady that only spoke Spanish, and they're like, does anyone speak Spanish here? They're kind of rushing around, and I was like in the front getting trained, and I'm like, oh, I do. And she's like, oh, can you come here and do this consultation, translate this consultation for me? I didn't know what a consultation was. I didn't even know. Oh, dude, it was my second day. I was barely exactly. And so they threw me in the office, and I met the pharmacist, and she was like, yeah, so just translate what I'm saying. I was like, okay. Translated with this lady, like connected with her, helped her connect with the pharmacist, and learned a lot. Because it was just like, it was like I sat through a consultation because I understood her.
For sure, being that translator, of course, being that assistant.
What a cool thing to be able to do.
Uniting two worlds, you know what I mean?
Yeah, dude.
I'm so envious and jealous of you being bilingual.
Now I can teach you, buddy. Now you can teach you.
You working on it? You working?
Yeah, I am trying.
Javier, Spanish-speaking ladies.
Hey, I cook really good.
Roll them R's.
Man. That's amazing. No, go ahead.
I was just gonna say, I said it. I wasn't what I expected, because obviously you go in there expecting, like this is gonna be the chillest job.
Oh man,
like everyone's gonna be cool as fuck, and everyone is cool. But there's some people that are not cool.
Of course,
at times, because we all have problems in our lives.
Yeah.
And some people just don't.
Registers feel.
Yeah, just some people, they express it to others in like a hard way sometimes. Everyone has those days. everyone has those people. If you have ever worked retail, you fucking know.
Any job.
Any. Especially like a food service or like a retail. You know.
But it's always funny though, because cannabis is the expectation of having people come in and being like playing some Bob Marley music. You know what I mean? And you have like smoke in the air, and they're like clearing the beads. You know what I mean? And you're like,
who knows? That might help because
right?
you know, like we can't do that.
It
here.
could help, right? But it's like that's not it at the end of the day, you
It's
know. And
not.
it's one of those like you kind of help those that are coming in pain, those that are coming in after work, those that are coming in and like, yo, I need it now. I don't care, give it to me. You know, and I'm sure those people, and it's like you can't take it personal because it's like one of those hey man, I know this is gonna here to help you, man. Thank you for coming. Have a good day. It's just like walk out the door and just
literally,
hand in the air type.
If you take it personal, you're gonna be breaking.
You wake
down
up
every
for
day.
it, dog.
You're gonna be breaking up.
Yeah.
You're gonna be breaking down every day, especially a 10-hour shift, helping people.
Now.
You know all that. Like it's a lot, and so my deepest
God damn it.
fucking love to all the pharmacy agents out here and everywhere as well.
Holding it down.
Much love to all you guys. You guys do the Lord's work, honestly.
for sure.
And I've been through it. I've been through that struggle. God has put me through his hardest struggles. I'm his toughest soldier. No, scratch that. We're going to edit that out. So, no, but, you know, I've been through it. And so it's just like, but other than that, you know, like you said, you don't take it personal and you're just like, you know, just let it be. And, you know, unless you're trying to fight, you know, like that's different. If you're trying to get physical, like it's different.
Hey,
but, or be disrespectful. But no, other than that, it was great. Right. Amazing coworkers. You learn so much doing that. You learn what other people like. You learn what, you know, you like. You learn what's coming through the market. You know what's selling good on the market. Yeah, it's just a really good experience, especially. I feel like I personally want to, you know, like open up a dispensary one day.
Come on now.
You know, have a nice little vibe and, you know, kind of make it nice and comfortable for people to come in and be themselves and get their medicine and learn more about the plant. You know, it's just like, it's just going to grow from here on out.
And one thing that I think would be really cool, like, to have at the shop, because I want to own one too one day. Hopefully we can be partners.
Let's go, bro.
I would love to be partners with you one day. Hey, all of
us.
us.
Holy shit,
all
holy
of us.
UCC Cannabis?
Hey, I'm not even kidding.
All right, we stamping this date. We stamping this date.
No, but for real though, man,
really,
I'll support all the way through.
We all really aspire to do amazing things, and like one thing that I think would be really cool to add to the experience of shopping is allow patients a segment or a board where you can put testimonials and cycle testimonials of the patients that are coming through your door every day. You know, that's one thing that I feel doesn't get enough attention, and it's through just poor education of like how to set up the dispensary, you know. But one thing that cannabis also gets kind of like foreplayed on is the true applications that patients have been able to utilize cannabis with. You know, how much of a life-changing like element this is for them. They the quality of life that they have when they consume cannabis and they're utilizing it, it changes the way that they can engage with their life. 100%, you know, it really does. And it's beautiful to hear.
Yeah, and when obviously your best version of yourself, like that's when you're kind of like truly living life, right? That's what brings you to the present, and that's where you really want to be. So
and it's for homeostasis.
And where would you say cannabis has assisted you the best in your life? Knowing a little bit of your background, where'd you come in when it came into the arts? I heard a little bit earlier, man, that you be producing some beats, man, and you be delving into that world. Tell us a little bit about that, man.
Yeah. Sorry, what was the first question?
just kind of your artistic side, but more so how cannabis has. So, for instance, like influence that, because for me, like dance and cannabis, right? How people for you, when you're like, man, like smoking and then listening to music and then kind of getting into fashion and getting into style and trends, you know. So, how's cannabis influenced that for you?
So, like, definitely, dude, like artistically on another level, because I've always been I consider myself always a artistic and creative person.
Let's go.
Since I was young, and I've always had an affinity and a real loving and like connection to music.
Sick.
And so, discovering that you feel crazy and high as shit, and then you listen to, like this crazy ass bop, and you're just like, you feel the energy, or like you listen to, like, just think, I've always been tied or interested in the emotions that music gives us, how it grabs our emotions, and when you're sad and you listen to a sad song, it makes you want to cry more, or like some, and it's like, that's why
it singles out that
exactly, and it's just like it speaks to a part of your body and soul that it's just different. So I've always loved that. And dude, like, doing using cannabis along with it has definitely helped be creative. But I'm not gonna lie, using cannabis for so long, I've also encountered times where it hinders my creative output. Like, it's just like you start to make it a habit, and that's when it doesn't become useful for me personally. It's more of a distraction. It's more of a dependence sometimes, and it's more of a, like, I'm bored, like, I've been working on this for 15 minutes, I'm going to smoke again, get a little too high, and then just pass out or eat too much, and then just not really work or something, And so there's been times, like, when I really started doing concentrates, when like for us that have like been through that roller coaster of smoking young and then like going through that, you get to a point where you just dab so much, a lot. You're just like, you don't even use flower, you're just like, oh dude, I'm gonna dab, I'm only gonna dab, and your tolerance just shoots up. And that's when I remember the first time, because I had barely graduated high school. I was working on beats in my mom's basement. I was working at FedEx, going to school for commercial music.
Let's go.
And, I was just like, I'm going to do this. Let's go. And, dude, wake up and hit the fucking dab, the banger out of this, like, 2-foot zong. And just get ripped, dude. Ripped. All the time. And,
just a dab will do you.
And, dude, like, it was just, it was an experience.
Would you ever do 2 dabs in a row?
Definitely. Like,
you ever heard a dab will do you, 2 will screw you?
Yeah.
5 grand will inspired. Going 2 dabs and be like, let's watch some Adventure Time.
Yep.
Yeah. A dab will do you, 2 will screw you.
Very true. Or one big ass one will do you. Wrong.
Or I'll do like 7 and I'll feel good.
Something like y'all have taken a big ass, mean ass, booger ass hit.
Oh god, dude.
Where you feel like you're.
Tell him, Sep.
Hey, dude.
I
took a 2-gram dab once.
You crazy, bro.
My god, dude. I couldn't breathe for like 30 minutes after the hit. Like, literally.
Only 30 minutes?
No, 30 minutes of like struggling like outside on the grass,
Water
like
on your face.
like willowing in the fucking dirt, dude. Like, couldn't breathe.
I feel that.
So
Scared dog.
Sweating
1600 degree nail, just flaming out.
Dude, you wanted to burn
that
it.
900 degree nail, dude.
Dude, you wanted to burn it all, bro. So you sent it.
Oh, dude,
you don't waste anything.
Dude, get it hot and hurdy.
Dude,
Yeah,
I don't hurt. If I were to do that now, I would throw up. I swear to God, I would throw up.
I have thrown up,
Hey, you threw up recently.
Oh, okay, yeah, it's true. Damn, all right. I see. Don't mind him. Yes, I did.
Don't mind her.
Yes, I did. It was from a big ass bong rip, and I was also like 6 beers deep. And I had ate a lot.
He was cross-legged like that.
We were partying.
Dude, we were faded,
bro.
But it was cool. I bounced back. Like, I was just like, and I was like, all right, we're good.
Yo, the puke and rally.
It was
the puke and rally.
The puke and rally, straight up. But no, just over consuming cannabis. Man, I've had some crazy times, dude. I appreciate it. For sure. But with how it's helped me create and like develop my sense and creativity, it's been big, especially because I've always loved hip hop, and it's a huge staple in hip hop. You already know, and reggae.
For sure.
When I started getting into reggae way more, you're like, learning.
All
like,
come from the underground.
Exactly. Like, I had dreads for a while. When I came out of high school, because fell in love with Bob Marley. Like, just listened to so much, to all of his music. You know, learned a lot about him, and got my hair dreaded, and you know, there I was, dude. You know, just
smoke weed every day.
But yeah, it was it's been
beautiful.
Damn, now you're Slim Shady, fool.
Damn, bro. What's she say? What's JJ say?
Sombra
delgadita.
Sombra delgado.
Sombra delgado, dude.
Yeah, sombra delgado.
Yo, yeah.
Beautiful, man.
But
It's
yeah,
like Skinny Shadow, basically.
Slim Shady. Slim Shady. For real. Yeah.
That's what I called him. When he sent me a selfie when he first got it. I said Sombra Delgado. El Slim Shady.
Straight up, dude. Yeah,
That's
yeah.
funny as
I have recently cut my hair. I had it long for a very long time, probably like, you know, down to my shoulders. Just buzzed it, bleached it. We about to get creative with it. I'm about to get a design like in a week or two. So
Oh yeah, man.
Oh yeah.
it's cool.
Do you know what you're gonna get, or
Yeah, I want to.
Doja Pack.
No, he's gonna get a big UCC.
Yeah, sure. I'm gonna get you guys' faces.
pause this one.
Just all over my head.
Possible.
Like Mount Rushmore.
UCC Mount Rushmore, Mount Cushmore, the UCC Mount Cushmore.
Hell yeah, dog.
Nice.
But
Nice, Mount Cushmore.
yeah, straight up, you guys are it. We're
go.
gonna get that happening on
on now.
on good old Timpanogos. We gonna get your faces on Timpanogos. I'm gonna commission that. Let's get it.
Hey, dude, we'll put our faces
And then
on
right
the
under
ground
our faces,
outside.
just crop.
Yeah.
Let's
Oh my
go.
god, dude, that's crazy.
Hey,
Oh
dude, you
shit.
should buy that billboard that's out
Hey,
there.
what's
That'd be
a-
funny as fuck.
One question I always ask a lot of the guys here is, what's the highest you've ever got?
The highest I've ever got.
Yeah.
Honestly, I thought about that question today because I heard you ask Wes
Yeah.
on
Yeah.
on the podcast when we were listening
man,
today.
what was that?
And to be honest, the first thing that came to my mind was when I first tried edibles.
Oh.
Well,
we haven't
the
touched
first
on that
and
yet.
second time.
We talked about that.
Dang,
The
he said
first
the
and
one,
sec-
two.
Dude, straight up. I went with the one and the two. So it was
So,
the
like
day
Mike
before
Tyson, huh?
420. It was 419. I remember it's fucking like it was yesterday. It was 419.
Yeah, it's all
What year?
on flashbacks.
It's probably
Let's
20,
go. This is yummy.
2014 or 2015.
So
I was
right
like
after
16.
high
I
school.
was 16 or 17.
Okay.
Right up, no, I was in high school still.
Got you.
Yeah, like I was in school. We dip out of school, go to my homie's house. He had made brownies. He's like, dude, eat some. And we had just like hit the
Ooh,
vaporizer.
brownies.
He had a desktop vaporizer. Do you guys remember the one with
Yep.
the tube?
Yeah.
So we were ripping that for like 30 minutes. So I was already fucking zooted.
The wand.
Yeah, and we go to the kitchen. He's like, "Yo, eat a brownie," and me and my bro are like, "Let's go." No. We go back to school. Third period, I had biotech. You know, so we're doing lab shit, and dude, I was already high there. No, the mutant came out of me. Like I just started feeling like bubbly inside, and like it's like I'm transforming. No, I'm just kidding. But like no, I started like so I was high already. I go to school, but then I start feeling like really funny, and I start like wanting to laugh a lot.
And this is the first time you've done edibles.
I did edibles. Yeah,
Your
I was at
first
school.
time. And how big was this dose that you took of brownie?
It was just a brownie.
Just a regular
This
square.
was the homies.
brownie.
Yeah, it was that street brownie, dude. So I ate one, and I just
Do you
like
know
started
the
wanting to
dosage
laugh.
at all?
Hell no,
Because the
No.
street brownie I had,
No.
fuck, that shit was fucking fun. You know what I mean? I'm like, yo, this
I
will
mean,
pass me, you know what I mean? So I
well,
was just wondering the size.
that one got me fucking lit.
So you
Like,
ate the whole thing.
I ate the whole thing, and it got me
Ooh.
lit. So I'm just chilling there, and I'm like, fuck, trying not to laugh. And this girl's like, are you high? You smell like weed. And I'm just like, dude, I'm peaking right now, type shit, and you're
probably
pressing me.
Yeah,
You are
yeah.
pressing me, and it's just like, and everyone's hearing you. And I'm just like, holy shit, what am I gonna go do? And then it's just like, and I'm like, you look high. And I was like, you look
Turn
high.
it around.
And I was just like, you know, red-eyed as fuck, obviously. And luckily, there was but luckily there was a homie that was like on the other side who smoked bud too, and I didn't know. He was like a transfer student. He had a Soja shirt on.
Oh.
And he's He's like, oh, weed? I love weed. And then that kind of broke the tension.
Let's go.
And I was just like, whoa, I was like, and I started vibing with the dude. We started talking. He telling me about Soja. And that's kind of like when I first started getting into like more modern reggae.
Yeah.
And I was like, okay, I'm gonna check him out, whatnot. But I was like, dude, the homie just saved me. Like I was stressing. And I go to lunch and I'm just climbing this fucking mountain.
It's creeping.
Like
I'm
going
creeping now.
Yeah,
You
I'm
got the
going
creeper
I'm
fetish.
going
Sure.
I'm going high.
That
So
11
everyone
hydroxy. That 11 hydroxy
Yeah.
coming in.
I was feeling good, dude. But then we're chilling at lunch. We eat our lunch. We leave, and my homie's like, "Yo, I brought 2 brownies with me because I was gonna give them to the 2 other homies, but they're gone." He's like, "Do you guys want to eat them?" And me and the Brody were like, "Okay." We ate another one.
Oh,
Wow.
Wait, what time is this, by the way?
This is probably like 1:30.
So,
Or no,
you're not in
like
the
probably
day.
like 1 o'clock.
See, the day ain't even started, bro.
It's midday, bro. It's the afternoon. And I'm like,
You're
let's
halfway-
go.
you're halfway
I
through.
remember eating it. I look at him. We're laughing our ass off. Like,
Last word.
oh my god, dude. So, and then we go into 4th period. Straight up. We go into 4th period, and I had I think it was like an adult class. Like it's kind of teaches you how to be an adult,
For sure.
whatever, home ec or something. And they had a nurse come in that day, and she spoke about childbirth. And dude, at that point, I was so fucking high that I was so high. I was like, okay, I have to put my head down because I'm feeling really dizzy. But yeah, I'm still like, if I close my eyes, I remember it vividly because I'm like, if I close my eyes, maybe it'll like I'll chill. I closed my eyes and I just saw waves of colors and just like it was just like
Colors, damn.
and I'm like holy shit, that's making me dizzier. And then I'm just
I get you because it's probably just like
because like
yeah,
when you close your eyes, you're
yes.
like you just kind of get vertigo
Yes,
type
I know how you
shit, you know. It's like, and then I'm kind of keeping my head sideways, and this lady's like, dude, she's going in it about birth. She's like, this birth canal, and there's blood and this and that, and I'm just envisioning a birth, dude. Like I'm literally envisioning, and like blood and like this baby coming out, and like obviously it's traumatic, it's traumatic, and like
Hell yeah.
I'm just like, and it's just like close up, and it's just like, oh my god, like, and I'm just like, I'm gonna fucking puke. I'm gonna throw the fuck up right now. And I ran out of the classroom, tried to run, like it was very close to a door that led outside.
Fell down.
No, dude, I run out the door. I try to make it outside, and I'm like, holy shit, I'm not gonna make it. And I'm like, where am I gonna throw up? And there was a water fountain right there. I was like,
No! You were the kid that threw up in the water fountain. We all came out in the middle.
Yeah, you're like, who throws up in the water fountain?
Fucking fountain.
I didn't want to do it on the floor. I was like,
Now
dude,
I know.
I was so
fucking stoner kids, dude, in high school. Shit.
yo, it is. Oh my god, dude. Dude.
Oh,
Hey,
man.
I washed it out. I washed it out. But dude, after that,
Oh.
I was sick to my bone,
Ooh.
and like, I fucking went to the bathroom and slept on the floor in the stall because I just like every 10 minutes I'd be like, oh, I'm nauseous as fuck. I'm nauseous as fuck. I might need to throw up. I throw up a tiny bit, and then I just like lay back down. And I'm like, and then like next thing I
Rest for a
remember,
little bit.
the bell rings. The bell rings, and I'm like, holy shit, it's time to go. I go get my backpack, and my mom picks me up. She's like, what did you do? You took something. And I'm just like, no, I had a bad burrito. Like,
Oh
fuck
my
me
God.
up. She fucking knew. But basically, the next day, I bought more brownies from the Brody, and it was 420 because me and my cousin were gonna go to a concert in Salt Lake, and I told him we're gonna get brownies, Fora. So we went to go see Fora,
Nice.
and like some other hip hop heads, and so I bought more. We go, we eat them, dude. That was very fun because. I just took one. I was like, I'm just gonna eat one, and I'm gonna, like.
You knew
I'm gonna
your
be cool.
dosage. By
Yeah.
that point.
I was like, I told my cousin, I was like, just eat one, and you'll be good. And dude, funnest fucking time of my life.
Let's go.
But then my cousin got sick,
Damn.
real sick.
Oh no! So you were like, I know what you're going through.
Oh yeah, I was like, oh dude, I was like, you just gotta chill and like drink some water, and dude, but like he was supposed to drive, and he was like. Dude, I can't fucking drive.
Oh,
Dude,
I know that.
And I'm just like, dude, I'm like, I can't fucking drive. I'm like, I'm fucked up right now. And his car was stick. And I knew how to drive stick, but I was like, dude, I've never driven
Don't lie.
stick. I do, yeah. Like I learned on my Toyota pickup. Don't even press me, dog. Don't even press right now. Anyways, but no, I knew how, but I was lit. I was like, I don't know if I can do it. Having doubts, and I was just like, I don't know. And he's just like, you gotta do it, dude. Like yells at me. Yeah, yells at me. I was like, all right, I got you. Dude, the whole ride. Like obviously, I'm going from Salt Lake back to Orem.
That's a fun drive.
Crazy, bro. And somehow my cousin led me. My cousin led me to a Carl's Jr. because he was from up there. He lived up there. He was like, dude, I'm hungry, but he was passed out. He's like, dude, I'm kind of hungry. oh no! I said that. I was like, dude, I'm hungry. Do you know like where there's a Carl's Jr. or some shit? And then he was just like, dude, eyes closed, bro. He's like, yeah. Dude guided me to a Carl's Jr. without opening his fucking eyes, dude. I swear.
Take a left.
Yep.
All right. You should be on
Maybe
your
I
right.
was too high.
Wait, not that.
Yo, his echolocation is through the roof.
Bro, he was like, dude.
Or he wasn't saying anything.
Yo, and he was like, no, and then he like kind of woke up when we got there. We were at the drive-thru. He's like, where are we? I was like, Carl's Jr. He's like, how did we get here? I'm like, you told me how to get here, dog.
Oh my god.
And he was like, what? Dude, it was so funny.
Oh my god.
That was one of the best times, and I'm telling you, dog, I was gone. That was psychedelic as well. Like I was tripping.
That's crazy.
Hey, that's a wild story, Javi.
Because you don't know how much. For all you know, that thing could have just been like 3%,
300.
just chocolate.
And I will say,
like,
most
milligrams.
likely, I'm guessing most likely with brownies, it's like
98%
butter.
THC.
It was butter.
And so from
'Cause the
that,
homie
like
told me
somebody
to
that
make
like I like recently have made butter.
Yeah.
How long you leave it, obviously in the oven and temperatures really matter.
And how much?
Let alone
bud
like
leave
starting
it in that
material,
fucking
right?
crock
Yeah.
pot
Yeah.
and shit.
Fire
And
Like
how
you let it
much,
carboxylate.
You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
Very
so
true.
You could end up with
You could
that.
use a little bud.
That
you could use a
freaking
shit ton of bud.
crazy strong. So I could only imagine.
Shit was wild. But yes, that's
Also,
that question.
Did you eat at all before you consumed those brownies? Did you just straight up hit those brownies in the morning?
I can't remember if I had breakfast that day, but I ate in between.
Interesting. One of the main reasons I ask is when a lot of people consume, they don't know if, like how much water they drink, if they ate or not, if you're on an empty stomach, the time you consume, right? If you just pop a brownie in the morning, right, and you're like on an empty stomach, and you're like, and that's the one thing your body just sucks up, right? Now you're just like lit right from the get go, right?
It's crazy that you like highlight that because thinking about that alone, like waking up and taking a high dose edible, never done it. I don't think I've ever done it. Just like roll out of bed, like
Hey,
popped
hey,
a
100
brownie.
milli. You know what I'm saying?
that's
Like, I don't know.
crazy.
Hey,
100
500
something.
milligrams one morning.
Yeah, see, like I haven't.
My
I've never
feet
done that either.
sweat, dog. My feet were
That's what I'm
sweating.
saying. I was
like,
like, ooh,
That's interesting.
on an empty
Yeah,
stomach,
Yeah,
I
dude, on an
couldn't
empty
have to
stomach,
like,
this was wild.
I'll rock my stomach.
But it makes it
Damn.
crazy you talking about going up like this roller coaster,
Creeper
almost like
effect.
coming up to like the peak of the high in a sense, because that feels like it would be forever. If you were to take it in the morning,
Yeah,
that's a
imagine
long
if you see
roller
some big dude
coaster
coming down the
ride.
hallway,
Oh.
Javi, some like 6 foot dude coming on the hallway. Move out of my way. Yeah. Pulls you out of the stall.
Right, dude?
I put it in a headlock.
Luckily, there was no one outside. No one was outside, so no one saw me throw up. No one saw me do nothing.
Hey,
Chilling.
dude. The
But-
security guard's like, yeah, I know he's going there.
Yeah, you're right though. Like when you take an edible in the morning, you know, you feel the peak, like, you know, 2-3 hours in or whatever, but then it goes in waves, dude, and you just ride the wave to the end of the day. It's fucking nice.
Man.
But yeah,
That story's amazing, man. In terms of it being funny, entertaining, the experience,
I
your
mean,
homies riding with you, and how you consumed it. You know what I'm saying? And
yeah.
it's crazy too, because it's for a lot of people, it's those brownies for the first time too, because there's no edibles, no one's making gelatin. You know what I mean? Everyone knows how to make edibles from brownies and stuff. So.
yeah, that's a very
crazy.
traditional way.
Hell yeah, man! Touching up on all your lives, man. Touching on your background, touching on your upbringing, touching on the artistic part of yourself, man. Touching on how high you've been. Touching about the industry, you know what I mean, and stuff like
The
that.
old strains.
I got
back in the day.
before we head out, I got one more question.
Yeah.
What's your favorite way to consume?
Come on
Favorite
now.
way to consume is a joint.
Hey.
Good old.
Roll one up and smoke.
Give us a
good
reason
old
why. Give us a
joint.
reason why.
The biggest reason why is because I love the ritual of rolling a joint.
Hey,
To me, it is like calming and de-stressing, decompress. It helps me decompress, at the end of a day type thing. Sure. And then, you created this, and then the taste is honestly for me the best way to taste flower is through a joint.
Hands down, in my opinion too. And vaporizing has its own niche.
Right.
I can't lie. It's got its own profile. It's different.
It's different than burning.
It's very different. Very different.
And I love it. And also,
I like it too.
I feel like I love the act of smoking too. Seeing the smoke. The smoke come out.
And passing it around.
Yeah, passing it around.
Yeah,
or even by myself. Like when you smoke a joint to yourself, you sit there and ponder, think, you remember about your day.
You don't have to keep loading the bowl, you just sit there until it's gone.
Yeah. Yeah, dude.
That's how you like.
Well,
hey.
Appreciate you,
man. For sure,
coming in,
Thank you, man. Thank you for sharing your story.
I appreciate you
so much,
honestly.
Really appreciate you coming out.
Appreciate you guys.
Sharing.
What are a couple things, man, you want to let the community know, man? Where can they follow you? Where can they find you? And
how can they support you?
And how can they connect with you, man?
Hey, if you would like to connect with me, I'm on Instagram.
Hey, come on
at _Javier with 2 V's.
Let's go.
2 V's. That's correct. If I remember right,
it'll be in the description.
It'll be in the description.
Yeah.
That's right. But honestly, like I know this, like I'm very excited to be on this podcast with these guys because I work with them every day and they're phenomenal people. I love them to the end, and it's great to be on here. And honestly, I know that we talked a lot about like prior experiences and like a lot of black market things going on as a kid and the come up. And that is, like part of the culture, the cannabis culture is, like having to hide it and having to be, very secretive about it and whatnot. But the fact that, like we are able to do this for a living now and it's starting to be recognized and respected as a medicine.
100%.
It's honestly, it's more, it goes along with the recreational aspect. It doesn't have to be one or the other. It goes in tandem. They both work together. They both have certain effects, and that's why I'm like
100.
I believed in it since the first time I tried it, and I'm gonna keep believing in it. Just like you guys. You guys inspire me a lot. And so
gang.
Hey,
that's all I want.
Well, I consider you a brother as well. Thanks for joining us.
Thank you.
Thank you for
This
listening.
is JJ,
Wes,
Javi,
Gabe,
and this is Sep, man. We
This is
appreciate y'all for
UCC.
tuning in for UCC. Again, Javi is our guest on the show. Make sure to go ahead and share the podcast, like it, subscribe, get your mom, your daddies, whoever, man. We out
grandma,
here.
your grandpa.
Gang, follow us, UCC, Utah Cannabis Club.
UCC, what it
We
is.
out
hey,
here.
baby.